Well, people, you know where I'm at. You see that there van right there? Now, I don't have Melinda Murphy here, and I bet she'd like to hear the sound of my guitar. But I do have a Mr. Stephen Carlson right about here in the flesh.
I'm here to worship and pray. And have Dave give me records.
You heard it here first, boys and girls.
Come on and kick me. Come on and kiss me. You got your problem. Got my eyes wide. Got your big tits. I got my hash pipe. I got my hash pipe. Come on, Brian, let's turn it up. Come on and kick back. Come on and kick back. Come on and kiss back. Got your problem. I got my eyes wide. Big chair. I got my hash pipe. Charlotte, North Carolina. Show us what you got. Thank you to Future Islands and Joyce Manor.
Morning, VC. So, Mr. Stephen Carlson made the pilgrimage down to Charlotte to get to Noble Records. And it just so happens that my work gives away quite a few tickets to events in town, a lot of sporting events. We have seats for, and we also have VIP box seats to PNC Music Pavilion, so any concert the whole season. We give those away for each show. It's like a raffle, and I actually won some baseball tickets, and I won VIP to Weezer for Saturday night. So I asked Mr. Carlson if he would like to partake, and he accepted. So it was a big week. But he got down here on Thursday afternoon and met me at Repo Records. I didn't think we were going to be able to get them in on the dig on Saturday with having the concert now, so I figured, meet me there after work so you could check out that shop. And I was just back in the back digging through the classical section that they've redone, and they've put all the Deutsche Grammophon records together, as I talked about in a prior video. And I had picked up the Symphony No. 1 from Brahms. So I picked up Symphony No. 2. This is Herbert von Karajan and the Berliner Philharmoniker. So we're going to see what this one sounds like. I really thought Symphony No. 1 was fantastic, the version that I bought. So this is like a second or third German pressing, maybe a third. It was $4. Steve that works at Repo, he was working on a shelf in the back, painting it outside. So he said, just help me move this shelf inside and you can have that record. So that was a good deal. And then we went to a Irish pub that night here in Charlotte called Workman's Friend. It's a phenomenal place. So that was very enjoyable. And then Friday I got off work, and Steve came over to meet me to go to the baseball game. My friends Jason and Mary T picked us up. And Steve was nice enough to have gone back to Repo on Friday and picked me up this record, and that's the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, a mono copy, not a first press, but an earlier pressing on Capitol, and this is one I didn't have. And this is a very nice copy, and it was very thoughtful of Steve to do that. I really appreciate it, man. I got into the Beatles probably last year, and yeah, I've got a few more I'd like to find, for sure. Magical Mystery Tour and Let It Be. I need to get those, and I think I still need a copy of Abbey Road too. Those three. I got most of the others, but this was one I was missing, so really appreciate it. So yeah, so we headed out to the baseball, and it ended up being a doubleheader because of all the rain we had this week. We didn't know that, so it was cool. We got bonus baseball. We did sit down though, and the opposing team, the Louisville Bats, hit a grand slam, and we ended up losing that game 8-0. They shortened both games to 7 innings, being a doubleheader, which I didn't even know they did in the minors, which was also interesting. But the second game, we were down maybe 2-1 or 3-1, and hit I think we were down 3-1, and hit a line drive off the left chalk near the wall, and ended up winning 4-3. And then yeah, but it was funny. There was a rain delay. We ended up having another thunderstorm come through really quick though, thank goodness. And then they did do the fireworks. They had fireworks, which I wasn't expecting until 4th of July weekend, but they had the big fireworks, so that was pretty awesome. Brisket, hot dogs, that are just amazing. So yeah, that was a really good time. And then Saturday morning we met up to get to Noble Records, and it was a big VC meetup, because a lot of folks wanted to meet Steve, and so Art, the North Carolina vinyl picker, came down from the Lenore area, I believe is where he's at, out near Hickory, and Zonkman came down from Winston, and Kendall came from, he's nearby Noble. He came down. He's trying to think of the name of his channel, Spin Doctor and the Vinyl Mayhem, and of course John Digital Gramophone. And yeah, so we got a nice dig in at Noble, and then Mr. Winebender, he also hit up Noble, but he was a little bit behind us, and did meet up with us at Lunchbox. So it was cool to see Eric too, definitely. And here's what I found at Noble. The Slits cut an original pressing on Island Records with all the accoutrements, as Mr. Winebender would say. I had been looking for this record and never seen one in a shop, and then all of a sudden I've seen two recently. There was one in Angry Mom, and I was going to circle back with Dom to see if they still had it on the wall there and try to pick it up, and ran into a copy of Noble. So there's this bad boy. That's a big find, OG copy, classic LP. And then probably my favorite find of the dig was Together Alone from Joseph Drummond and Anthony Braxton on the Delmark label. I've been looking for this record for 5 or 6 years, and didn't want to pull the trigger online just because it's a cheap enough record, and sure enough finally ran across a copy at Noble. I think probably a remnant of the Florida collection, but and I'm not sure what pressing this is. I haven't had a chance to look these up or spin anything yet. We'll do that later today, but yeah, this is on the blue and white label, so I'm not sure if it's an early press or not, but 1973. A couple of blazing saxophones on this. Really free fare, and happy to find that finally. And so that's what I got at Noble. And yeah, the guys, everybody found a lot of good records. I was very stoked to see that. Carlson did very well. You'll find out from him, I'm sure, down the road here. Carlson got a lot of good photos and video throughout the day, I believe, and throughout the week. And then so after that, we went to Rock Store Barbecue for lunch, which is one of John's favorite places, and for good reason, and should end up being well, it is a tradition now to go there when we go to Noble. Place is fantastic. Great Southern barbecue. Potato salad off the chain. And there was some exchange of records when we went to leave, which was really cool. And Zonkman brought me some VCLT. Absolutely awesome. This is a band we went to see here, and I was unaware of them until Mr. Bender turned me on to them. They're from Rochester, New York. King Buffalo, and this is the album Longing to Be the Mountain. Some great cover art. And this band was really good. Heavy, but melodic at times. The bass player is phenomenal in this band. Damn good bass player. Impressed the hell out of me at the gig at Snug Harbor when we saw him. So very stoked to get this record. I mean, I don't even know where I'd get this record from. I don't know if like Lunchbox even carries it, so really appreciate this, Steve. Fantastic. Zonkman coming through. And so we left there and headed to Lunchbox Records. And they had an event going on there as well. Henry Owings, who owns Chunklet Industries, that label. They've done a lot for like Man or Astroman, bands like that. He's been doing these books where he's showing rare concert flyers that he's amassed from different areas. Obviously Athens, Georgia being one and Atlanta, Georgia being the other. Well, he's doing Charlotte. So I brought some stuff I had from Georgia as well, because I'm sure he wanted to see it, and some stuff from here, some show flyers. There were some good ones that a lot of folks were looking at that I brought that they really liked. So I think some of that stuff's going to get in his next book, because he's done these books with the flyers. I've shown this before. This is the Athens book with all these show flyers and things. Really cool. See if I can find some other cool ones here. There's like there's a Fugazi one in here. Oh, here's a good one. I'll show you this one. Since the drummer just passed away, Butthole Surfers. But yeah, so really cool to meet him. And stoked that some of my stuff might end up in his next book. And so we, you know, had the whole crew there digging in Lunchbox, and I had been there maybe a week before and saw a few things I was thinking about trying to pick up on this dig, and the stuff was still there, so I grabbed it. Misfits, Legacy of Brutality, on the Plan 9 label. I think I don't know how recent a reissue, but it's a reissue, and these are 13 unreleased cuts. Checked some of it out online, some really killer songs, so I grabbed this. It's like 180 gram press. The cardstock feels older though, but I don't know what press it is. I ain't looked it up, but it's in really nice shape, so I grabbed that. I didn't have any Misfits in the collection yet, so I figured what the heck would get this one, since it was right there in the used punk section. So then I grabbed this record because I've been really enjoying the CD in the car, and it's this indie store limited edition exclusive of Death Wish Blues from Samantha Fish and Jesse Dayton. So here's this bad boy, which I've talked about in a prior video, produced by John Spencer from John Spencer Blues Explosion. Samantha Fish is phenomenal. Not normally my bag, blues rock, but God, is this good. This guy's really good too. Good singer, good guitar player as well. They make a good duo, for sure. I'll show you the album on this because it's this limited deal. Really cool looking record. Right there. So we grab that. It's a nice pressing. Fantastic. I like almost everything on this record too, except for like the last song. The last song gets a little bit, I don't know, slow, or I don't know how to describe it, but all the other tracks are phenomenal on this. And there's a lot of videos, some good videos up. And then I grabbed this just because it's the craziest thing in the store. Scott at Lunchbox got a bunch of rare, weird bootleg cassettes from this guy that makes them. And I got a Lamont Young, which is some very rare material, experimental drone music that I played in one of my recent videos. And so I wanted to go back and see what else he still had of that stack of cassettes. There's a lot of Charles Manson stuff, really weird stuff. There's a lot of other weird cult, like death cult type recordings, really bizarre stuff. Some other oddities, and then this cassette, G.G. Allin, Portrait of the Artist as a Public Animal. It's a very strange cassette for G.G. Allin. I've never seen anything like this, but it's cool looking. And there's a lot of songs on it. It's like 14 cuts, recorded in 1989. Some of it recorded in Boston, but some of the names of these songs are very unsavory, to say the least. I won't say some of these words on the telly, but one of the song that opens the B-side is A Girl's So there you go. G.G. Allin, this will be absolutely bonkers. So I grabbed that. It didn't cost hardly anything. And then from Lunchbox, we headed over to Premium Sound. Luke wasn't there, however, which was a shame, but it was his birthday, and he's in Charleston, so I understand. And I think everybody, pretty much everybody, except, I don't think Art found anything, but all of us found records there, and some good ones. I know Zonkman found a nice wall piece. And Carlson, by the way, found some heavy hitters at Noble. That was to be expected. And John put all of us to shame yesterday, just so you know. But I did find one record in... I've actually found a few records, but I'm probably going to get them this coming week when Bill's in town. But I did find this record at Premium Sound, Refused, The Shape of Punk to Come, 2008 reissue. The originals are super pricey, and I've always had the CD since it came out. There's a track here called Refused or Fucking Dead, number 9. They have a DVD with the same title. I recommend getting that DVD if you want to learn about this band. And it has a lot of rare footage in it of some of the gigs they actually tried to play in the United States. They'd get shut down by the cops quite a bit. It would get rowdy at their gigs on their deal. But New Noise, track 6 is the big cut off this. The Deadly Rhythm as well was a big one. Great LP, classic stuff from Sweden. The Shape of Punk to Come, some heavy progressive punk. So yeah, that was the dig. We left Premium Sound and headed over to the cantina near me for some good Mexican fare and conversation. It was good to relax. It was really hot out, and it was nice and air conditioned in there. So we chilled there for a few hours, I say. And then Carlson and I headed up to PNC for the Weezer gig. Phenomenal. Was way better than the last time I saw them. They had a hell of a stage setup. The stage, they turned the whole stage into like the front end, or not the front end, but the dash of a vehicle, and the screen was basically you looking out the windshield. And then they had that animated. You know, there's animations, like it looked like you were going down the road and stuff, all kinds of stuff was going on. And the guys in the band could go, the drummer was on top of the dash, and then the guys could go up and down on the dash from the stage up. It was crazy. Really cool. And they had video cameras, similar to how Radiohead's show was, projecting them live back behind themselves. And done uniquely. So it's only the second time I've seen that done like that, which was a big production. Very, very cool. Things you notice when you're a videographer. But fantastic gig. The openers, the first band, I can't remember their name. They were something Manor, Joyce Manor, maybe something like that. They were from California. I forget the city. They started out way too loud. The sound guy was not doing a good job, and then they got better by the end. And then the second band was Future Islands. Great band. The band themselves, it's like a 3-piece band. With the lead singer was bonkers. He was nuts. Very unique delivery on the vocals, but he would run all over the stage doing crazy stuff. But the band was tight. The drummer was really damn good in Future Islands. And the bass player would switch off onto guitar sometimes, and the keyboard player was good. They had probably a good run at the end of 4 songs that were really good. But Weezer was phenomenal. They played great. I saw them at Tremont here when on the Pinkerton tour. That was next level, though. They played Pinkerton cover to cover, I think it's 13 cuts, and then they played the Sweater Song and Say It Ain't So, all in one gig. Last night was very diverse. They played a lot from a lot of different records. Yeah, it was a great gig. And yeah, Steve's on his way back to Michigan. I think he's making a stop at Dixieland Farms on the way up. And then, I hope he gets home safe. And I'm sure he's going to have plenty of footage for everybody here of the shenanigans in Charlotte. Hope you're all well. Peace.
Let's get real close now. Is ready to blow. I wish my hurt to try I said, this